up, Twitch, and welcome to the Raise Flames Podcast Network. We have another amazing show for you today, and holy moly, it's a family event. Everybody's here. Starfire Nels is in the house. Sir Chops, even all the way from far, far away land. Sir Chops is in the house. Painting Polish in the house. Everybody's in the house. Holy moly, family. J-Rob's in the house. Juice Gang Gang, Juice Gang Gang, Juice Gang Gang. Painting Polish, everybody. Sir Chops, everybody. Hype it up, hype it up, hype it up. Whoa, bro. Whoa. Lot of love. Hello. You are Rebel Love, baby. If you like that new Billy Idol emoji, pop it in the chat. If you love that new Billy Idol emoji, put it in the chat, you rebels. There it is. And whoa, holy moly, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. My name is Bill, Talent Theater Expert, something like that. I remember the lines. Filmed, by the way, in San Dimas. A little fun fact for you. San Dimas High School, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, one of the greatest movies of all time, besides Fast Times at Richmond High. Thank you very much. There we go. Welcome in. Everybody got the email. Everybody got the message. We are here, the Race Flames Podcast Network. And Starfire Nels now is blowing it up. There we go. Get the Billy Idol and the little love, little respect for Billy Idol, the legend Billy Idol. One time broke his leg on a motorcycle, and this was all during the filming of one of my other favorite movies called The Doors. I don't know if you watched the movie The Doors. Billy Idol was in that movie as a crazy guy, and he had a broken leg during the movie, and still, like a champ, still pulled it off like a champ for the movie The Doors with Val Kilmer and all the guys. Rock and roll with Billy Idol, my friends. Holy moly. Typecasting, total typecasting. They hired the rock star to play a rock star, which was perfect. I think it worked very well. He didn't have to go out of his limits too much, right? He was fine. He didn't have to, all he had to do was party. That's what rock stars do, right? So it was very easy for him to play that part. So great job. Should have won an Academy Award for partying. And you could still, I think you should be able to win an Academy Award for partying, and that's just my opinion. That's just an opinion. Holy moly. Twitch, what is up? Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Yesterday, we launched an incredible video about the transformation of the Raise Flave studio. Yes, right here where we film. We took the dare, the challenge, the audacity, a little embarrassing. I had to show the studio. You guys have seen it in the shot. You've seen the doggy shot where the dog corner has all the leashes and the dog food and jackets all spread out in the shots. I mean, we've been filming this show for 3 years, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 3rd season, and you guys have seen that junk pile in that corner for 3 freaking years. Well, no more, thanks to the organization. Maven, she came in and did her thing and took it away. It was awesome. J-Rob says your guest was exciting to purge. Yeah, she purged even the other side over here where it was a mixture, and we learned a lot about organization mindset and you don't think about these simple concepts, but we're going to learn about it more tonight, dude. We're going to learn about it more tonight, Starfire Nels. We're going to learn about why you should put all the pencils and the office supplies in one area and the electrical in a totally different area and have everything. That's literally what organization is. I had no idea. So I called in the expert, and she was amazing. She did the Raise Flave studio. You guys watched some of that video yesterday. If you joined me yesterday night here on Twitch, you were able to see some clips of that. We went through a couple pieces of that video. It's a 2-hour long video. If you get a chance, please go onto YouTube and watch that video. My wife was watching it all night last night. I caught her when I got home. She was watching the YouTube video in the kitchen while she was organizing the kitchen. She's doing an amazing job. She already was doing an amazing job of the kitchen, but now she has your techniques to help her out, so she's doing even better. It's amazing. And if you please, Chops, I haven't seen you in a while. You may not know this. I do have a YouTube channel. Please follow me on YouTube at as well. It helps so much because I'm going to be putting out a lot of good content on YouTube. So make sure you follow me on YouTube as well. Yeah, it was a little embarrassing, but it was worth it. I want to bring you guys value, and especially I'm talking about YouTube. I want to bring the good value. You guys have some good videos, high quality videos, and learn some stuff, right? It's a fun show, but we also are going to learn some stuff here as we move along, and we learned a lot about organization by watching her go through here, you know, just diving in, just like saying, here's my studio, you know, see what you can do with it. And boy, oh boy, did she take on the task and just crush the task. Amazing. I never thought it could look like this, and it looks amazing. And so it's worth it. It's worth bringing value to you, my friends. It's worth bringing value to you, Juice Gang Gang. Juice Gang Gang, it's all about you, my friends. That is how it's done, but I just don't have enough brain cells to do it for a long period. Yeah, I'm with you. Shoot, I'm like, I'm gonna go. She knows. She asked me if I drink Red Bull. I do used to drink Red Bull constantly because of all the things I do with Young Nails during the day, with the kids and everything that I do, and then the show. And so, you know, I have to have my caffeine. But at some point, there's some crash. There has to be some crash, right? There has to be some moments during the day where I just crash and that, you know, and get a little rest at night at some point, like maybe 2 a.m., maybe 3, possibly I get some sleep. And then we start to roll from there. That's how we get our energy. My thought process stops midway. Yeah, totally. So we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this all night long, see what we can learn from the organization Maven, and it's just going to help quite a bit. Dang P, I was just getting links. You are mod of the year. Oh, yes. Dude, I got J-Rob and Painting Polish. Come on. It doesn't get better than this. I got mods in the house, in the Heezy, and they're rocking it like they do all the time. Thank you so much to my mods. Fantastic. You may be just like me. You may have a room in the house that is so cluttered, so filled with stuff from the 1960s. My house was full of stuff from 1980s when I was a kid, 1970s as well. And because of this, you may have to do what I did and call my friend and my guest tonight, Miss Organization Maven. Welcome to the show, my friend. Nice. How are you doing today? Good. Man, are you beat from all your clients that you've been doing this week?
Well, beat is not the word. It gives me much excitement to do organizing. So when I don't do organizing, I'm very low energy because I don't have anything to make me excited.
So that's what's happening. That's because when you came and saw this,
it excited me. It gave me the goosebumps. I got really I wanted to touch everything and do everything. And then when there's nothing to do, I'm not excited.
It's crazy. Isn't that crazy, guys? Listen to that. Okay. We're like, this is a eyeball sore. This is a pile of leaves or papers that I got to go through. When she sees it, she gets freaking goosebumps. She gets excited and she's raring to go. So now that you fixed all this room, you come in here and you're like, duh. There's nothing to fix. I fixed it already.
I'm looking at stuff, but there's no excitement because all the fun part has ended.
There's not enough, right?
So now I'm just like, well, let's go through the drawers. Oh, let's go through the records. And it's like, no, I just have to sit here, smile, because I'm not putting any energy into it.
Yeah, she saw, you immediately saw the album shelf. Now that we're looking at it is tilted a little bit to here, I'll show you guys. It's tilted. That album shelf over there is like going down. So she notices details like that very quickly. So you're like attention to detail, right?
Yes, very much so. It kind of has when I get into a supermarket or a store, I actually can like spot all the security cameras and I can like see details about the people walking around me. There's different things that I count when I'm inside a store.
Holy moly.
And I'm very observant. So anyone that acts a little weird or something, I kind of tell security like this is happening, and they're like, "How did you notice this?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I just walked past and noticed it." Like, like it's very much a detail awareness. I'm very much aware of my surroundings and the details like involved.
That's awesome. They would have loved you in the Army. That's what they talked to me. They constantly pounded in my brain, like attention to detail, Brachymontes, attention to detail, like because they have tripwires and all that other crazy stuff in the jungle. But you have been great. You understand and you check and you things stick out to you, right?
Yeah, I just noticed
like
little things.
Ooh, the best part of the show is just about to happen, ladies and gentlemen. The food just got here. My lovely daughter's bringing in the food, and we have tacos.
Okay, thanks.
Cool.
I'm gonna hand
Bring
it over.
it. Bring it. I will indulge.
Our fancy new table.
Yeah. Oh, we should. This is a perfect moment to show you the table that we had in the garage for years. We finally got it out. We put it together. We're gonna go over the table, ladies. And let's go. Let's take the food camera and go over the table. Let's go check it out.
Well, first you gotta pan around the table.
Huh?
You gotta pan the table.
Oh yeah. We'll go. We'll take this camera with us. So we're good. We see everything. Hopefully it doesn't fall. Put it right here. Yeah, we turn on some lights.
I feel like I'm in a home ec. I'm gonna
see
do
if
a
it's
cooking demo.
It's working. Look at that table, ladies and gentlemen. This table was stuck in the garage for years. Now look at it.
How does it?
So you pull it up, and the side thing, pulls out until it stops that little stopper.
Oh.
Cool, right?
Yeah.
So this is my mom's crafting table, soon to be my food table.
I'm glad that I made you get it out of the garage.
There you go. Now we have a place to indulge in our foodsies. Let me put the camera like right
You want your plate?
here. Oh, I'll eat it right off of there.
I don't know.
No shame. No shame.
Can I take your drinks off?
Yeah, go for it. That's you.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like one each, so that's why.
Cool. All ready? Y'all ready? You green it. Boom! How does that look, lady? Tacos in there. Hype it up with the tacos. I pay attention to detail, but I don't have the authority to change anything, so let my supervisors know what I see experience. But it seems like they don't care about the issues or don't even want. Some of them don't. Some of them don't. If you're good at checking those things out, sometimes they get freaked out. But
Bosses don't like change.
bosses don't like change, exactly. But Ray likes tacos. We are blessing this table with this beautiful salsa and tacos. Oh boy. One thing I learned about Allison, she loves tacos.
So I'm on different dating apps, and they always ask me what I want to eat. And in my profile, it says it's an automatic taco decision. So don't ask me what I want to eat.
Don't ask what I want to eat.
This is the answer. Like, you don't even have to ask me, what do you want to eat tonight? Because the answer is going to be tacos.
That's what I say. Grab one, we'll do a little taco salute. Cheers the taco. Cheers to your taco. There I am. Mmm. 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 Oh my god. What do you think? Have you had that before?
This is really good.
You never had that before.
Well, not from this place.
This is a Whittier local. Burrito truck right down the street.
We are representing the locals.
Oh yeah. Burrito truck, come on, sponsor me, go ahead. Putting you on my show right here. Boom. Mmm, mmm, mmm. Mom's gonna get mad. The table's gonna be messy.
That's what wipes are for.
Let's grab these and go back to the couch before we get in trouble. We'll clean that out there. There's the table. Thanks to the organization Maven, we were able to get the table out of the garage, get that set up, and now we have a beautiful food shot for anytime people bring in food. This is awesome.
Any visitors?
Tacos on the noche. Tacos in the chat, tacos in the chat, tacos in the chat. Boom. Holy moly, my husband is very sentimental with things from his... Yeah, that's... We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about... Great point, J-Rob. Great point. Great point. We're going to talk about that. It's a great point, J-Rob. Holy moly. Let me get my camera guy to move the camera over. There you go. Camera guy, you're doing a fantastic job. Probably the best camera guy in the business. There we go. Holy moly. Dude, are these bomb tacos or what?
They're really good.
You happy? You happy?
I'm very happy. This was very good.
Oh, man. Holy moly. This is going to be tough now because when you go on dates, you're going to be expecting this. And nobody gives better tacos than Ray. Than Ray's Place.
Well, I just thought it'd be easy by putting it on my profile, like how guys say that women are, you don't know what they want.
Sometimes they say, sometimes they say, oh, she's difficult. You are not difficult. You're telling them exactly what you need.
Yeah.
All you got to do is make it happen, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Make it happen. And you can have this lovely organization Maven. Holy moly, holy moly. Oh my God. Burrito track pastor tacos every single time. And I got lucky. The Dr. Pepper ended up in my fridge somehow. Last one.
Surprise.
Oh my goodness. Holy moly. Holy moly moly. So, are you pretty stoked? We kept it pretty much the same since you organized it, right?
Except for the corner over there. I want to know why it was moved.
So, in the corner, I don't know if you guys can see that way over there. I don't know if you remember that. Actually, let me take you over there.
You should. You should take them over.
Let me take you over there. I want to make sure you guys get the full deal. Take you over there. Let me take you guys over here. So, this was one of the major areas that she took care of. This trunk was like over here. These blankets were like flying over the top of it. There was trash bags, tablecloths, all kinds of stuff over it. That was right here on the floor. Bags of different types of dog food all over. We poured the dog food in here. We got that from over there, emptied some stuff out that didn't need to be over there, had a nice cabinet. We made this cabinet. We had it right here, and she labeled it leashes and bags, jackets, grooming supplies, everything labeled, everything in its right place. And she had that was right here. This was over there. The reason my mom moved it, she said that every time she opened the door, the dogs would barely be able to squeeze here. So that's why she moved that. But it's still pretty good, right?
Still functions.
Still functioning, it's organized.
My only thoughts were with the clear drawer organizer by the door left in the corner being empty. And I was afraid that corner would get filled with random things because it was an empty corner. Some people see an empty space and have to fill it. So with me purposely leaving that corner empty, it almost like invites for extra things to show up. So yesterday when you panned around the room and I saw that the clear drawer organizer thing had been moved into the corner, my first thoughts were, oh, no one wanted to leave that corner empty, so they filled it with something.
Yep. And we talked about that during the video. I asked the question of, have you ever been to the client and the client says, okay, now it's open. Should I just feel the need to fill that space up, right?
Right. So that's where the root issues of having empty spots come into play, where people haven't resolved issues from when they were a kid and how they grew up and whatnot. So they feel compulsive to fill that space. So it's a good answer that the dogs don't clear the walkway. Mm-hmm. So I don't, let's say, have a problem with it, because it isn't my house to have a problem with.
Sure.
But my only concern is at some point you might not put the jackets back because the dog food and that step stool is in the way.
In the way of the drawers being pulled out, right?
So you might pull out jackets, but then just lay it on top of the trunk, because you would have to move that dog food in order to put it back. So that's my only concern. But as long as you regulate yourself, or your mom, or your kids, or whoever gets the jackets out and puts them back, then I'm fine. I don't want to come off like some kind of organizing Nazi where
here's how you're coming off to me is you're a freaking expert. You've seen this before and you're like, okay, cool, and to me it looks cool, it looks fine, it looks organized, but you know what's going to happen because of your experience.
Right. Once that container of dog food blocks the opening and closing of the drawer, old habits come back of just placing things on top instead of things where things go, and then other things get placed on top, and then the mound that we cleared on top of the trunk will get refilled with new things.
Exactly.
And that's like the slippery slope that everyone kind of falls back into. And so that's where, and I don't mind coming back and refreshing and re-talking with people. That isn't any penalty or shaming.
But it's
going
to cost you.
Yeah, there is consequences, and so that's just kind of what I've seen and the repetition of it. It's very similar to learning a new habit or quitting smoking or anything along those lines. If you don't have things set up to prevent you from not doing something or doing something, where then you just end up doing it again. And so it's different because I've regulated everything. I put everything back because I have that passion and I have that feeling to do, and so just, it's just different,
Yeah. Is it very common though? Because I'm sure you don't go back to every single client that you get, right?
Yeah, I'd say only a tenth of the clients I go back to. Quite a few are one and doneers, what I call.
Sure.
Where I come over and tackle a big place or a big space, and then after that they just either maintain it or I never hear from them again. And I think it's also too they know that there's a cost involved for me to come back, and they feel guilty because they've already paid me once, so now they're gonna have to pay me again. So instead they either hire a different organizer, because I've gone to a couple of different projects where I'm the second or third organizer that they've hired.
What do you think about some of those that are out there? Do they do as good as you? I doubt it.
Well, we're all unique and special. That's usually how I say. We're all unique and special.
I love it. I would never, I'm telling you right now, I would never hire anybody besides you. The way that you do it is completely different. And you just have so much patience with people. So it's pretty awesome. Let's talk about let's go to a screen capture, see if I can do this. You guys know I suck at this, but let me go. That's the video from yesterday. That's the video of her cleaning out the exact cabinet that we're talking about. But I want to show you guys something different. While you're watching that, let me go and look for something. Hold on a second. I'm going to try to show you guys something else in a bit here. Hold on.
Was there any questions to answer before we go into the video?
No questions so far. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. She's willing to answer questions. There's my Instagram. This is her Instagram, the Organization Maven, over 27,000 followers. She's been on TV. She has a book. She's publishing a book as well. There's her Instagram. I want to show you guys a post. What I really want to get delved deep into. Look at all this stuff, organization stuff, jars and stuff like that. I want to get into here. Right here is where I want to be. This is, let me see if it'll show that. And let me go back here. Copy link. This is fun learning this stuff. You guys should be right here with me. Tripping out on this stuff right here. I'm almost... If I keep doing this, I'm going to be good at this. I bet you what, J-Rob, huh? All right, see that right there? Let me know if you guys can see that. It's an addiction tree. This is a thing that's on her Instagram, and it shows all the different addictions, right? Let me try to make it bigger for you guys. Let me put this like this. Let me get like try to make it big. So hopefully you guys can see that. You have look at that. What's up, Hanada? What up? What up? What up? Yes, the addiction tree, J-Rob. You see that? You see this? It looks good, right? So check this out. It's like different areas of addiction, like the roots under. It says the underlying damage of shame, wounding, and division within the individual. So there's roots down there that cause these things. There's feeling addictions, anger, rage, hate, guilt, jealousy, fear, envy, grief. There's thought addiction. This is where I fall in. Thought addictions, obsessional thinking, perfectionism, rigid thinking, worrying, repetition. That is me. Fantasy. All that is me. I used to be this guy over here, the substance addiction. That used to be me. Alcohol, drugs, glue. Not the glue. I don't know who would do. There's some crazy people that do glue, but drugs, alcohol, caffeine. I still got that one. Food. But I jumped over to the thought addictions. That's my thing now. It's more healthier, I think. It still drives me crazy, but it's a little bit healthier. Then you got the activity addictions: buying, spending, gambling, crime, hobbies, exercising, work. Then you got the people addiction: relationships, love, sex, codependency, things like that, unhealthy relationships, groups, power, violence. How do these things right here that we're talking about are on your Instagram? How do these connect to what you do as an organization maven, my friend?
So what I noticed is when I was going through different parts of different people's homes, when I would say, hey, why do we have so much of this? And they go, oh, well, I can't help it. I go into Target for milk and I walk out with $200 worth of cute stuff. And, isn't this cute? And isn't that cute? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's cute. But I mean, like, how many of these things do you really need? And then they're like, oh, I really like these things. And I really like those things. And so, randomly I would say, like, was your dad around when you were a kid? And then they would stiffen and go, this has nothing to do with what we're doing. I don't want to talk about personal stuff. And I go, okay.
Yeah, I would imagine they'd be tripping out. Like you're the lady that came over to organize the home.
Right.
You got hired for that, but then you bring in the root cause.
Right.
They don't want to hear that.
And so then they're like, and I'm like, well, if sometimes there are situations where certain family members abandon us when we're younger, or they tell us we aren't going to grow up to be anything, that we're worthless, that we're not capable of getting a college degree, doing these different things. And so we end up buying new and pretty things that make us feel good. And then it's like the mic drops because they're like, I never thought about that. So then it was kind of funny.
There's a couple. So that's one. So the first reason is like abandonment issues. Is that what you would call it?
Abandonment issues.
Abandonment.
Yeah, usually there's a father or some kind of parental figure that has left, whether it's they were raised by their grandmother or, different things like that. Just some kind of division in their family where, someone left and they had to leave everything behind and go live with someone with hardly any possessions.
Oh, so they're trying to replace those things that they left behind.
Yeah, so
that makes sense.
And so then they just don't realize that it's all connected. And I'm not a licensed therapist, and I don't do therapy sessions. Like usually, I'm just trying to get to the root issue as to why they feel compelled to go in and buy so much so often. Like what,
Yeah.
like, you know, and so then we just talk about it like, hey, you know, can we just curb this? Can we, you know, when do we reach a point of having enough? Like, what are you trying to replace that you're missing? And then what are where is the line in the sand that you have enough? Like, you know, so that you don't have to keep buying to fill. Because a lot of times, even when we talked about, when I was in the place, and we were talking about too many toothbrushes and everything from the video,
Yeah.
and everything, and so, you know, I have to find that common ground of what is enough toothbrushes, what is enough fake plants, what is enough baking supplies, what is enough beauty supplies, when is enough school supplies. Like, where do we find this common ground of having enough that you're trying to replace from when you're a little kid? And so that's why I want to know if there's abandonment issues, if there's abuse issues, if there's, you know, addiction issues. And so it was quite interesting. I've been having this kind of imaginary tree in my head for years, and then maybe like a month ago, I came across this addiction tree on Instagram. Someone else had shared it.
So you had this tree in your head, kind of like,
and I didn't even know the imagery existed. And
Wow.
then someone else had shared it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the thing I've been talking about for years.
Hanada makes a good point. I mean, like this has to be. We all have like one, like must have one of these, right? Like
Yeah.
nobody's for you. You gotta have something. You probably have one of these, right? You overemphasize on one thing. And by the way, 2 disclaimers here. 1, she's not a therapist, and number 2, it's okay to have a nail addiction, because if you're buying young nails, it's okay. I had to put that disclaimer in there.
Yeah.
But in other things, okay, nails is a tool, right? You guys are nail techs. It's a tool. You're actually using that to do services, and you're using that to make money. So let's get that off the table all the way. By the way, sale coming at the end of April. You guys saw that on Twitch. So we're talking about like trinkets and things that like they're using to replace the things that are missing in their life.
Well, it's like having too much anti-aging products because you're trying to be perfect in all of your, you know, your everything, and you don't even, you know, you don't even use all the stuff. But then you have like, then you go to, you know, Sephora, and because you have a $10 off coupon, so you spend $300. Like, it all like dominoes and revolves around each other because of your self-image issue and your, you know, any kind of dysphoria and everything. So like, it's all connected.
So
with stuff.
image, would you say image would be the other thing then? Like
Yeah,
image.
I would definitely feel like people that have you know, image issues or
Self-conscious.
yeah, they're self-conscious and everything. Like
Taking notes.
they overbuy on skincare products, and you know, especially Ipsy or I Spy or whatever that subscription is. It's like $10 a month, and you get all these little samples.
Oh, what?
And FabFitFun is another one where you get a subscription box of skincare products that's a sample, but you don't technically use it, but then you're like, oh, well, it came in my FabFit box, so I should try it, even though it doesn't like really work for my skin type or
Holy moly! Everybody on this channel is addicted to nails, by the way. I'm addicted. I wish there was what's that stuff where the injection?
Botox.
I wish there was a Botox sample. Bring the lady just pops in your mailbox, and she comes every month and just does some Botox on my face. That'd be fantastic.
Well, I mean, it's tough because we're in Southern California and we're so close to Hollywood, and there's so much imagery. But like people that live in Arkansas, no offense to Arkansas, but I mean, you don't have the same Hollywood standards in Arkansas
100%.
or anything. Like, I definitely feel like we're under more pressure here, and especially because I'm in Orange County, which I'm 6 miles away.
Yeah.
But we have plastic surgery. Like, you can't live in Orange County.
Yeah, there's many plastic surgeons and dentists here.
And have plastic surgery. I've had plastic surgery. My mom's had plastic surgery.
Wow.
Like it's an Orange County like prerequisite. You have to have a Tesla and have plastic surgery. Otherwise,
Tesla and plastic surgery.
You can't live in Orange County.
You have to do it, or they'll kick you out. They'll kick you out of town.
Yeah.
Oh man, I agree with this. I've been there buying makeup and I don't wear it often, only on occasion. There you go. Yeah, we start stockpiling this stuff, and and I think you hit it on the nose, especially in California. We're close to Hollywood and we see the movies, but now it's even not just in California, because now those Hollywood stars are on Instagram, they're on TikTok, you're watching. What I've really been interested lately in seeing is, like, I wonder what that person looks like for reals.
Yeah,
like if you look at the person and then look up another photo on Google, like type the person, how does he look on, how does the chick from, here's an example, you guys caught me, how does the chick from No Doubt look without makeup? How does Gwen Stefani, totally different, right? That's a great example, right?
Yeah, that is.
You know, she looks, I mean, she's a beautiful woman no matter what, but totally different.
Yeah, because she's
with makeup and without
54,
makeup.
so everyone wants to know how she looks so flawless. And Dolly Parton's another one. I mean, Dolly Parton's in her 80s, but thanks to makeup, she doesn't look 80. I mean, you know she's 80, but
I don't think you're gonna find with Dolly Parton. You're not gonna find she's figured out a way to stop the. There's no picture of her without makeup.
Yeah, there's no picture of her. I'm sure there's a lot of NDAs and fired assistants.
Yeah, she's got some power. Yeah. I think she owns like a couple towns in Northern California that burned down. She built them right back up with her money. She has amazing money. Starfire No says still have an eyeshadow palette that I haven't even opened or used. Wow, I see that a lot in my wife's in the bathroom. There's like a lot of stuff that hasn't been opened, like containers and boxes underneath the sink of different stuff that, I mean, you can't use all this stuff, right?
Well, so then we get into, and touching back into the video of value versus volume, how things take up space, and we think about, oh man, I spent all this money and so I can't get rid of it, especially if I haven't even opened it. But then you don't realize the volume that the item space. And, you know, depending on people's bathrooms or vanity tables and stuff, eyeshadow palettes take up space. And so, you know, you only can have so many eyeshadow palettes. But then you're like, oh man, I spent $120. And even though none of the squares are the colors that I like, well, I can't get rid of it because I got to get the $120 worth. And so I run into a lot of people that have to keep things because of the value. But I can tell you right now, when you spent that $100, $120, it disappeared. Just like when you buy a new car, and as soon as you drive off the lot, it depreciates.
Depreciates big time.
Yeah,
the
you
most
can't
depreciating
drive it
thing
back
ever.
on and get that money back.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with anything that you buy that you don't use. It immediately loses. You don't get that money back. It doesn't magically come back. It depreciates instantly. Same thing with laptops, you know, or electronics. As soon as you buy them, they become obsolete a month later. You know.
Yeah, you got to buy a new iPhone every single year, right?
Right. Oh, I think we do it to keep up.
It's crazy. Here's a crazy one that I did. I'll give you a little confession for me. There's an app. I don't know if you guys have tried this, called Temu. Have you heard of that?
Oh yes.
So they say, we'll give you 3 free items. This is how they get you. We'll give you 3 free items. So you go picking your 3. You're like, dude, I'm gonna get 3 free items. You pick 1, 2, 3. So I was like, all right, perfect. I'm gonna pick. I got this light that's coming. It's gonna be awesome. I got this light I picked these lights, like these blue lights and stuff for the studio. I'll take that's free. I picked this solar charging thing for K-Rock. It's free. I picked this other light. It's free. And then when you go to check out, but you have to spend a minimum of $32. And so then you end up buying I bought a light that's going to be here pretty soon. It's called On the Air, Off the Air. It's going to work for fantastic. It's going to look make pro, but that's how they get you. Right now I have that thing that I really needed and all these other lights that I kind of say I need. I don't, but it might just end up stacking up, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have preset plans for your items, then it just accumulates, and you really didn't save any money. Honestly, you could have just gone to Amazon and picked out the different light things you actually needed,
the one thing,
so that you wouldn't have to go and buy some other random thing to make it free. Because I'll tell you right now, there's nothing in life that's free. You pay one way or another.
100%. One way or another, there is nothing free, ladies and gentlemen. There's my confession for you guys. So you guys know that you're not alone. I'm the same way. Holy moly, holy moly. How do you do it, though? Like, you go and, like, dude, I'm telling you, when I had my camera on that day we were filming, I didn't know how my mom was going to react. She'd never met Allison before. How do you just talk to people so patiently? You just have so much understanding. Like, oh, are these your memorabilias? Oh, are you gonna glue these two owls together?
Eagles, they're eagles.
Eagles, that's right. Are you gonna glue these eagles together? And when we found the adding machine, you like, I don't have. I'd be like, I've told her, like, why do we need this? We're so aggression and just so unempathetic. The organization Maven comes over and goes, oh, is this for all the adding you're gonna do? And it's like, dude, for me, I'm just hearing like Joe, like these are Joe, like Joe, you're very funny too, but it's the patience that you have, and you're trying to, are you trying to get into their mind? Like, what are they thinking keeping this stuff?
Well, very similar to the eyeshadow palette that cost $120. I have to be like, wow, okay, are you gonna use these colors, or do you have any date nights planned? Do you have this? Like, I'm truly trying to understand the thought process as to why this item has stayed as long as it had. And I want people to like this happens all the time where adult children are really dismissive of their parents' stuff. So their parents hold on to those items even harder because someone is being dismissive of it. So I try to be like, oh, this is really cool. Let's use it. And they're like, oh, no, I don't use it. And I go, then why do we have it? Oh, well, because my kid said this is a piece of trash. So I want to hold on to that trash.
So I'm doing it all wrong.
And so then I go, great. Well, can I donate it so that someone else can actually enjoy it instead of you just holding on to it out of spite? And then they're like, oh, well, someone wants this? And I go, yeah, someone wants this. And then they're like, oh, okay, well, I'll release this item because you're telling me that it has value and that I have value. Because you have to remember, your mom's retired, so she kind of has lost her importance. Like, she used to be in the office and like really respected in her position, and
Big
now
time.
she's just grandma, that's holding on to stuff. And so she has lost her respect, or almost like her footing. I mean, she's automatically a grandma, so she gets all this respect to be grandma, but it's different. When she worked in the office, she had a role. People came to her, they submitted things to her, like she had some power, so to speak.
100%. So
I try to address that they still are important, but let's let this item go and go be important for someone else. So once I learned that one charisma point, that to give them validation for their item and that they're still valuable, both themselves and their item, then it was like all the walls come down. Everyone's usually really agreeable and really pliable.
Nice. So
then any suggestion I have, really, there isn't any pushback because I've given them the one thing they wanted, which is respect and that they're valuable. So that's the key. I'm giving away a big secret.
Big secret for me. That's going to help with the wifey.
But, and that just really follows to like so many people. Like, I see all the time people are like, oh, I'm so upset about my internet. It costs so much. I'm going to threaten to cancel. I like never do that. I always call in and go, hey, you're doing a really good job, but I can't afford this. Is there any unadvertised deals? And they go, oh, yeah, we got this deal, blah, blah, blah. We'll take your bill down to $10 a month. And I go, great. You're so awesome. Thanks for finding me that deal. When does it expire? And then I write it down so I can call in before it expires. and then they go, thanks so much. Everyone yells at me and wants to threaten to cancel. And I have this employee has no authority over how much the utility charges. Like,
it's not their fault.
They're just a minion. Like, they don't have, but everyone yells at them and, is so mad about their bill and all this kind of stuff. So I kind of come in and I'm like, hey, I know your job sucks, but hey, can I get a deal? And it really works. I get so many deals on my internet and everyone else is really, complaining. But anyways, you can use it a lot of different places. It really gets you ahead, I guess. And it really, it opens doors.
That's crazy. That's huge. I wrote that down because I think if I validate some of those items that my wife may have or my mom had, that's then they're like, okay, cool, at least he's validating those things or have some value, some emotional attachment to me. Then it's a softer approach. Then they might be willing to give up some of that stuff.
And the other thing is, you have to remember the older generation, they didn't throw anything out when it was broken. They would always fix it and repair it. And so nowadays everything's so disposable, like flat screen TVs. As soon as they break, we buy new ones because they are a piece of crap. Yeah. But I mean, and you're supposed to buy another one every 3 years because the little thing breaks. But so our generation is more of a throwaway generation, and the older generation, like our boomers and silent generation, they held on to everything and repaired everything. So now when you're saying get rid of this, it's a piece of trash, their brain is no, let's try to repair it, let's try to reuse it, let's try to fix it. So I kind of accommodate that with, look, it doesn't look like it can get repaired. Can we recycle it? Can we do this with it? Can we give it to someone else? Can we donate it? Like I kind of just give alternatives outside of just sending it to the landfill. And so it's almost like I'm speaking their language because they're like, oh, she gets it. We're not going to throw it away. So that's, and sometimes things do get thrown away because I don't know what to do with it. But for the most part, I really do try to find it another good home. And that's the other thing. I use it all the time, that people want things to go to a good home. And it's tough because I can't always spend the time or the money to find everything a good home. But that's what makes them feel good. Like, oh, this person validated me. They're going to go find a good home for this. It's not going to be in the trash. Like, it hits all their buttons. And so because most of my clients are in the elderly department, mature, whatever they want to be called, it just has really taught me how to speak to them. Like, it just really has changed it. And another example, I did a home sale prep back in 2020. The dad is in his 70s. He works at Disneyland, and his children are all grown up and have kids and the whole thing. So he wanted to move from a 4-bedroom house to like a 1-bedroom condo or something like that. All his kids have moved out. So the thing is all his stuff, he was ready to purge and everything, which was like a dream client for me. So we're going through stuff, and I'm like, do you want this? He's like, no. And I'm like, why is all this stuff here? If this is all stuff you want to get rid of, why is it still here? Like, I couldn't understand the disconnect. Like, if he didn't want anything, why was the house filled with stuff? And he goes, oh, well, my kids told me this is all junk and it should be trashed. Wow. And I was like, what? And so he said, it isn't trash. These are good t-shirts. These are good TV trays. They're still working DVDs. They're still working VHS. They're still working lamps. So I didn't want to throw it away. And I go, oh no, we're going to donate this stuff. And I did 4 truckloads of donation drop-offs. Nice. Because it was all stuff ready to go and everything. And so, but his adult kids had said, oh, this is trash. And he knew this stuff was still good. So he just held on to it.
Yeah. They're so used to, back in the day, if the refrigerator broke down, you fix the refrigerator. If the washing machine broke down, you fix the washing machine. You go on, fix it. If the VCR broke down when they had VCRs, you fix it. If the TV broke down, you fix it. You can't do that anymore. The prices are so low on items. The items are just throw out, and you have to rebuy, and you can't. The digital items are very difficult to fix now because there's so many digital parts. It's a different era, and it's so interesting what you said about the minute you say this is a piece of trash, which is the why I've been guilty. Whoa, I hope the manager's not watching right now. I have been guilty of saying this is just a bunch of trash, and now I know, honey, why that stuff is still sitting there, because it's my fault. I've been using the wrong verbiage.
Yeah, and the other thing is in some instances, like when I have clients that are stay-at-home moms and the husband is the breadwinner and the everything, when we're donating it, he will still see it as we're throwing away items that his hard-earned money purchased.
Even when you donate.
even when we donate, because
So there are some more difficult clients where they won't even donate.
they won't even donate because they still look at it as we're throwing away something that his hard-earned money had purchased.
What do you think about, like, what I like to do too is, like, before I donate, and my wife loves to donate stuff, but before I donate or before I throw away, I like to at least try to sell it like on OfferUp and see if I can make some of my money back.
You
know?
like your sanity? You like those questions? Is it available, or can you deliver it to me, or can you can you accept this for $3 when you're asking it for $800?
The lowballing stuff, it does bother me sometimes, but the questions I don't mind, because I do that all the time. I'm into customer service anyway, so I like it. I like talking about the product, and then the hard part though. You're right, is the, like, trying to meet. Like,
Yeah.
oh, when can you meet me? I'm like, oh shoot, I'm over here, I'm over there, I'm in Anaheim. But yes, I do. I still like I guess because I'm a salesman, so I like to say, I'm like, oh, okay, I'll sell you on that. Buy this brand new VCR, even though we haven't used VCRs in like 10 years or 15 years. Like, try that, putting this stuff on.
Well, so then it goes back to time and how much time you want to dedicate, and if it is worth the time spent to get the $50 back or whatever the item is. If it's a real high value item and there's a big need for it and you can sell it like within 10 or 15 minutes, yeah, go for it. But for the most part, things just sit there. People ask questions, they flake, they want to meet in the middle of the night. They, hey, will you take $5 for this?
Yeah, all the people on OfferUp are just so cheap too.
Yeah, and so it's so tough because, like, you're dealing with all that extra stuff trying to make this money back. And so, depending on your tax and your write-off and all that kind of stuff, you can sometimes make more in the whole donation world.
That's true,
like
too.
Books, you can get like $4 a hardcover or $2.50 a soft cover. So, I mean, if you have a bunch of hardcover books, you're going to make more in the donation write-off realm.
You can donate books and get some cash for it?
Well, it's not cash. Yeah. It's a write-off.
You get a write-off.
It's a.
Dang, I have a whole library in my garage, and me and my wife were talking about you last night, and she's like, the garage, and I told her your favorite is the garage, so she's probably gonna give you a call pretty soon. It's gonna be awesome. Let's see, so let's see, like, when it comes to, once everything's organized just like it is here, what are some of the key takeaways that we can do to keep ourselves organized, to keep the organization mindset is what I call it, and not fall into the trap? Like, once everything's set and there's holes, and not trying to fill those holes. I mean, I'm sure there's a couple dynamics here. What can we do to stay organized once you've done everything right?
Well, like I said, it's making sure that the things are maintained, like the dog food not covering the drawer. That way, when you pull out the jackets go back. And they might at first, because of the newness of the organizing, it might be easy to put the jackets back. But then as soon as you're having a bad day or you're in a rush, and it's easy to just put it down and do it
later, doing it later,
and then later never comes. Something else is more important or more fun or more something. So then it never ever gets put back unless you interact with me or I interact with you, or my voice enters your head.
It does, dude. You have an influence though. Like, it's crazy how much influence you've had on me in the last couple of days. Like, I went home and started like organizing things in my house. We had literally, not to dox my wife, but we had all the Christmas stuff, all the Christmas wrapping containers, all the wreaths, all the stockings still in the living room And what month is this, ladies and gentlemen? Is this April? And we had this stuff since December in the living room. So I took all that stuff. Thankfully, here's the good news: is the good or bad news is the Impala broke down. So the Impala's out of the garage. It's broken down. It's in the front. So at least she gets more of a garage. So I took all that stuff and kindly put it in the garage for her. And then what I'm going to later do is organize it for her. But at least I got it from the living room into the garage, and then hopefully we can start working in the garage.
Right. So I mean, so it's doing the things later. 2015, my slogan, I guess, was "Don't put it down, put it away." And so a lot of people put things down for later, and then they don't ever put it away because it's so much funner to scroll or do video games or hang out with the family or do church or do one of your addictions of over exercising or over shopping or over church, do too much church. There's so many, there's so many things, and putting things away isn't fun. So what I run into is because people haven't organized and things don't have a set home for said things to live, then when they go to put it away, they don't know where to put it away. So like before, when all the drawers had no rhyme or reason and you were just stuffing things in to get them put away, then later you can't find it, or you have to rebuy, or you're having a party, anything along those lines.
You end up rebuying. That's exactly what happens. You can't find it. The party's about to start in an hour,
and you just
you're like,
cram
forget
everything
this,
away.
Let's go buy that, or let's hit Amazon, get it here. Fast service, get it here. You can Instacart everything nowadays. Yeah. So that's exactly. I mean, exactly. Walmart, boom. I can't find the wrench. Boom. Order a wrench from Walmart.
Yeah.
In what era did we ever be able to? You used to have to go to the hardware store, go to the tools. I can literally go on Walmart and have a wrench here in an hour and be working on. I did that once. Was working on my toilet and I couldn't find the right wrench. Boom. I had to get it. So that's exactly what happens. And I love that the foundation of what you're talking about is, and you said this during the video, is defining the room. If the room's never defined, then it's
a free-for-all. It's
a free-for-all. And we all live with people. Hopefully, none of us. Some people live alone, and you're fortunate. I had this room was not just a podcast area. It's my mom's crafting table. It's my mom's stamp collection. It's my album collection. Not only was it not what happens is, here's the freaking crazy thing. It happens here. It happens in my house. Everybody thinks that drawer is something different.
Yeah.
I think it's the electrical drawer. My mom thinks it's the stamp drawer. My kids think it's the crayon drawer. My wife comes and thinks it's the party supply drawer. And that's exactly what you saw, right? You saw.
Yeah. There's like so many things going on that we have to pick one thing for it to be. And that's what it is. That's why labeling comes into so much play, because you're literally labeling what that thing does or what that holds. So then when you find other things in the same category, at least you know where everything lives. And so I'll say this, but if you just buy bins and randomly throw things in bins, that does not make you organized.
I think a lot of people think that a lot of people, I'm talking about, they buy the big black bin with the yellow top, and they think because they threw all the Christmas stuff in there, that's organized, right?
Yeah. And the thing is we skipped over the questions of why we have this. Is this the bin it's going to live on? Is this all the same kind of category? Why do we have so much? Like there's so much more. It's tough because here's the problem, I guess. There's two kinds of organizers. There's an organizer like me that declutters and asks the tough questions. And then there's the product pushers that are, they buy a bunch of different products from Amazon, Temu, whatever, and you see them restock their pantry, restock their fridge, restock their makeup, and then everything is linked in their bio of all these cool contraptions and stuff, and those are product pushers.
So you're telling me that there's organizers that pretend to be you, but they're actually just pushing organization products.
But they're actual organizers. They go to people's houses. The clients are typically not home, and they'll come and move everything around, buy all the matching pretty bins, use the Cricut, labels, and make it all look beautiful. Decant everything, the dry goods in the pantry. But there's no question of, well, why do we have so many flowers? Do you have? Are you actually baking with all these different kinds of flowers?
How rare are you? I mean, you're obviously, everybody's unique, but how rare are you in your industry how many do you know, like how many people like are like you that actually care about where these things go besides the organization? It's an art form itself just to be able to organize, but the extra effort that you give into psyche and empathy, those type of things, do you see that often in your industry?
There's only like one other organizer I know that actively goes into root issues. You can definitely tell who are the product pushers because their Instagram is beautiful.
Oh wow!
It's everything
Tons of links.
Organized, and it's very Pinteresty. It's very container story,
clean photos.
It's they use all the same filter, and it's very light.
Containerizers. Painting polish calls them containerizers.
Yeah, and that's totally what they are. They do go in and probably do some decluttering, but not anything nitty gritty. I mean, I can't 100% talk bad about everyone because it's a business.
Sure.
Here's the problem. There's lots of people who are organized and type A personalities, but they don't run a business as being an organizer. It's like a whole other world. So that's the kind of problem. I run into quite a few people who are organized and they're like, oh man, I would love to be an organizer. And I think to myself, oh man, but having a business as an organizer is a whole nother world.
It's a whole nother
because
world.
Of all the marketing and the networking and the bookkeeping and all the business end of it. So people that want to just organize people's houses shouldn't become a home organizer. Hear me out.
Boom.
Because
let's get to the nitty gritty.
Because of all the business that's involved. I maybe do, like, if we're going to talk percentages, I'd probably only do like 12% of organizing a month because the rest is all business centered, where I'm going to networking meetings. I'm going networking meetings. I'm doing marketing on Yelp. I'm making content. I'm editing content. I'm posting on all my social media platforms. There's so much more.
I think, dude, it makes total sense to me, and should make total sense to you guys that are nail techs on this show, because that's what we teach at Young Nails too. Nails is a business. It's a service industry. You're in the service business, and so it is a business. And I think that's where you excel, is because you realize at some point that it's literally a business, and you have to run your books. You have to do all the business owner things. All businesses, what she just described, if you're going to have a business, they should be run just like what she said. Maybe, I don't know if the numbers are exactly correct, but 12%, whatever, you have your service, but you also have the business, the books, the marketing, the operations, the people that you have to employ, the vendors that you have to deal with, the different meetings and networking that you have to do. Though that is real business.
Yeah, I'm constantly having to meet new people so I can go have consultations, so I can plan for projects, so I can shop for projects. Then I actually do the project, and then it's all the after the project. I'm, getting the final payment, I'm doing returns, and then the very next day I'm going back to networking meetings to meet more people.
I love it. Would you have it any other way?
Well,
yeah.
it's tiring at times because I love organizing so much, but in reality, I do so little of it. And when times are really good, I hardly have to network or do any marketing because my calendar is so full. Right. And then at some point I hit a lull and I go, oh no, I got to scramble and do all this networking. And I got to do all this marketing, or I have to turn on my ads with Yelp, or I have to update my Google My Business and all those things require like remembering and steps and things. So it's
it requires a plan.
yeah,
It requires a
and you
marketing
have to
plan.
be aware. Like I have to look at my calendar and be like, oh, I want to go do this, you know. So I feel bad for like new organizers because they think, oh, it's a dream. You get to organize every day and be in all these people's houses and it's so awesome. And I'm like, every day? Well, then when am I going to network and when am I going to shop and what am I
Yeah.
going to do with things? And I'm a mom and I have to go grocery shopping and so I mean, I think it comes and goes in waves where I am working all the time and organizing, and then other times I'm not organizing and I'm doing a lot of like behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
And I do a lot of fake organizing. Sorry, I do a lot of fake
Well,
organizing.
what do you mean by that? Is it your content?
Yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of my content is if it's not my house, I actually have a client that I organize her house and I take the pictures and the videos and
So
everything.
you use her house for your content? Mm-hmm. I don't think my mom would be at all unhappy if you decided to use the garage, and that could be a great show. That could be a great video. There's so much content in that garage for you. You could have like 10 years of content in that
Yeah.
garage over there. Oh
I've
my
done
god!
there's a lot of times I get free product and I don't have the space to use said product. Like one was like a linen closet organizing products and I don't have a linen closet. I don't even have any linens.
Oh,
So
okay.
I was just like, well, how am I going to use this product? And I promised them a reel and a this and a that. And so I had been talking with a client saying, I don't know what to do with all this free product I keep getting. Like, I don't technically need it. So, and she goes, well, you can organize at my house. And I'm like, but nothing sticks at your house. She has 2 kids and nothing really sticks when you organize. So she goes, well, just do it for content. No one has to know that it really stays at my house.
Absolutely true. Yeah.
There's been times that she leaves and I'm in her house and I do the lighting and I get my phone set up and I move things out of the screen so
Holy moly.
so that it does it. And then it's funny because she'll come home and see it all and she's like, okay, get rid of that crap. Let's get my kitchen half less.
And she tells you to get rid of it?
Yeah.
She's like, that's way too organized for
And
me.
I
Get rid of
even
that crap.
offered her to keep the products, and she's like, "Why would I keep the products? They would just end up in the garage because we wouldn't actually use it." So then,
Oh my
so then I end
god.
up gifting them to different clients and stuff. So,
Crazy,
but
crazy.
yeah, so I do quite a bit. I mean, I wouldn't say like all of my content is fake, but I do have a.
You have movie magic. Don't say it's fake. You have movie magic. That's the new word for you.
But it just it's all content. No one has to know that it's real or fake.
That's awesome. There's her Instagram, guys, if you want to see her content. She does a lot of crazy cool. She obviously knows what she's doing. 27,000 followers on Instagram. She's got a YouTube channel. She's been on, is it CBS, the television show?
Yeah, CBS 2 and KCAL 9.
CBS 2 and KCAL 9?
Because they're partnered.
Oh, wow,
Like
okay.
they both aired it. They aired it on different days.
Nice. Holy moly. What is some of the talk about the most memorable transformation that you ever had as far as like a client's home or garage or something like that?
Well, recently, if you go to Instagram, gosh, I don't know how far down it was. I probably posted it late November, where I did a garage for a plumber. He every night for years he would just empty out his truck and just dump it into his garage.
Oh wow.
To the point that there's this huge mound that you couldn't even like walk into his garage.
Of parts?
It's all tools and parts and everything.
Dang. Is it lower than this?
You've probably gone too far. It might be.
Oh, right there.
Yeah.
Is that
this
it?
one. Yeah,
Holy
this one.
moly. Let me copy that.
And so every day for a couple of years, he just emptied out his truck after doing plumbing things. And he has a crew, and they come and dump trash and all kinds of stuff in his garage. And then he just said that enough is enough. We found so much inventory that he didn't even realize he had as much as he did. And that was so much fun.
So you organize it in these bins and everything like that.
And I went through all the pipe products, all the plumbing products. We came across so much
Oh my gosh.
couplings and things that I didn't even know, but I used Google Lens on a bunch
Yeah,
of
you got
stuff.
all his piping stuff, like the wraps of tubing and everything like that on
Yeah.
top. The big giant snakes are on top on the shelves. It's crazy. It says the client had neglected his garage for 2 years, and he spent 4 days, 26 hours to give him space back in his garage. Everything's around the edges and organized, and he has this huge space in there he can work. When was this? This was in November.
Yeah, it was November. It was like the first 2 weeks in November, or maybe like 1 week in October and 1 week in November. I forgot.
Awesome. So that was a memorable one for you.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed how it came out, and the reason why he hired me through Yelp is the first thing he had asked if I had any experience in construction, and typically that question is not asked. And I go, actually, my dad was a general contractor, and I used to work for the city as a plans examiner. So I mean, yeah, you could say I know some stuff about construction.
Big time.
And so then when I got out there, I was like, oh, you're a plumber. I go, what kind of plumbing? Like residential or commercial? And he's like, oh, you know your difference. And I'm like, well, yeah, I used to work for the city and approve blueprints. I mean, even though I didn't do anything with plumbing, it was all building safety and stuff. But, because plumbing would go to a different person. But I mean, I had to know enough basics in order to get my position. And so then he goes, yeah, the last organizer he hired, he spent so much time explaining what each part did that they couldn't get anything done because he was teaching her. And he wanted someone that could organize without asking so many questions. I mean,
so that's why he asked is, do you have experience in construction?
Right.
That makes sense.
Because he actually left and did stuff out in the field and left me in his garage by myself to sort through stuff.
Dude, it was I bet that freaking took a headache off of his shoulders because he could just leave you there and be like, just do it. The other girl had to be babysitting her, oh, this is a coupler, this goes over here, this is a 45, this goes over here.
And so the things that I didn't know, I still sorted, and as soon as I would find something in the package, then I knew what to label it, because I didn't know what some things were.
You find patterns though. That's what's interesting about you.
I found
you
the pattern patterns. And put and I go, oh, this is 45 couplings. So then I had started labeling stuff, and then he goes, oh, you know what a coupling is? And I'm like, no, but this thing had the packaging still on it, so then I could know what it was. And so he was like, oh, okay, you're resourceful. And I'm like, well, I mean, and then the only problem that I didn't know was what was used versus what was still good, because there was a lot of things out of the package, but that's because it came in a big package and then it was random. So then I said, the only thing that I don't know is what you've used or not used. And so then he goes, well, what do you got so far? I go, well, all this stuff is in bins, but I don't know what's used. So he'd go through and go, oh, this is used. Oh, this is used. So we filled up a big giant dumpster, like a 10 by 15 dumpster the first day. And then we filled up bags and bags of trash after that. And there was a lot of things I didn't know. But other than that, I definitely learned a lot. Things that, I mean, I don't think I'll ever use again. But the transformation was so remarkable. He couldn't believe it. He just was like, oh my gosh, I have so much product that he doesn't have to buy more product. And that's a waste, because before he has his own suppliers to get product, but he would go to Home Depot because he couldn't find anything.
Oh, so he probably saved himself a ton of costs.
So he was wasting all this money at Home Depot because everything's retail. And when he goes through his vendor, he gets a wholesale
better deal price. If you buy 50 or 100 or whatever.
Yeah. So, I mean, and then so that was really fun. So, I mean, to me, it was really fun, but it was a really great transformation. And you saw the video and everything on how it was. I mean, those kinds of projects just really, just make me feel good. And, and it's such a transforming thing. I mean, even if he didn't tell anybody, but his business improved or his costs went down, then I would feel like I helped, without anything.
Amazing. Is there anybody that you just said, I can't do this, I gave up on him? Is that even possible? Is it something like that?
Yeah, it happens with my hoarders that I kind of get stuck with. Their issue is they have huge trust issues because of fear, abandonment, the depression, different things, and they want to hold on to everything, everything. And there's things that are straight up trash, like dog poop. And they seem to think that there's value in it. And there may be, if you were to compost and do that
value in the dog poop. Mm-hmm. I would say I don't believe it, but there was a show, and I don't know if it's still on. The Hoarder Show, is that still on?
I don't think it's still on, but I still watch it.
Yeah, it just so there's people that they keep.
And there's no reasoning with them because there's definitely some mental issues. So there's 5 stages of hoarding. And
There's 5 stages. Oh, we go. Go ahead. Number
it's
1.
a very easy Google. But basically, 1 isn't so bad. It's where things are a little bit messy, but they can't discard anything. Everything has to have a purpose. They're holding on to things just in case.
Nothing is trash.
Nothing is trash. Everything they hold on to, and these are like your innocent houses that you get into, that every surface has a collection. Every surface has a meaning. Everything, like.
What do you mean a collection? Like there's Smurfs on the thing, or like?
Yeah, I've seen dolls. I've seen people collect Campbell's soup paraphernalia, like different cups and things. Like every surface.
This is the surface level of freaky deaky, and then it goes to, and then what's the next level?
So then the next level is where and this kind of shows up in different ways. Like they hoard food. So they have like lettuce, like way too much lettuce that their fridge is full, their garage fridge is full, and now there's just every surface has food and canned goods.
Is it good lettuce? Like this?
No, it's wilted and flat and smells and everything. But
funky throw up emojis in the chat, please. Some funky emoji. This is where the throw up emoji comes in handy. Go ahead, throw those in there.
And so they just, because they grew up during the Great Depression, where they had 8 brothers and sisters, and they didn't have enough food, there was scarcity of food. So now they buy too much food, and they also keep food long after the expiration dates. They feel the FDA expiration dates is a conspiracy theory to get you to buy more food, so they will not get rid of expired food. Ooh. So that's your level 2, and it's not terrible. It's not terrible yet. It's just subtle. They usually have their blinds closed and don't let anyone over.
Okay, we have guests, so we're good. All right.
Level 3.
Level 3. Here we go.
Is the same thing as 1 and 2, but now there's pet feces.
With pet feces. So now take 1 and 2 and add some feces. And you got number 3.
So I'm talking like they have a kitty litter box that it's been past a month. And
cats stink, like by themselves, even before they even poop. Cats stink.
And the ammonia from their pee.
Yes.
They don't pee in the litter box. They pee along the walls. And the client.
Well, because if the litter box is full, they have no choice but to go all over the place, right?
Right, but then there's no cleanup. So this is where nose blind comes into play, where people don't notice the smell of
Most
their
people
house.
can't smell their own animals, right? Like juice, you guys know juice smells, and that's why it's part of your points. But I think people that probably, when she's really dirty, they notice her, but we don't notice her as much as I'm sure strangers do. That's just common with everybody.
So that's where the nose blind comes in, and every surface is starting to spill over. Like the trash is spilling over.
Ooh, so they start getting trash.
So it's like things are starting to fall apart almost. Like there's like before they were able to hide it and function, and now things are spilling over. And
is that the level where you start getting wood damage on the house and stuff like that?
No, that's not until later.
Oh, geez, because I've seen that.
Is everything from 1, 2, and 3, but now it's a little worse. Things start breaking down, like the refrigerator. So instead of replacing the refrigerator, they now buy coolers, or they buy mini fridges, but they never empty the food that's spoiling in the fridge.
So they would rather, instead of fixing their fridge or getting a loan out to buy a fridge, they would rather go leave their house, go buy a cooler and put their stuff in the cooler which is much more work because then you got to buy ice.
Well, they don't always buy ice.
Oh, damn. Oh, Lord, have mercy.
And so then 5 is your worst, where
5 is the worst.
where it's the TV show. We're talking mounds of diapers with
Piles.
weight and piles and newspapers and so it's everything heightened. So it's the feces. Now they went from having 2 cats to having 20 cats.
Ooh.
And the cats are now digging in the walls.
I seen that
pooping
show.
everywhere. Like it's just such an extreme thing. And now they're not only nose blind, but they're also eye blind. Like they don't see anything wrong with how these things are happening.
That's when the toilets go.
And then like there's usually they have like asthma and all these things, and they don't realize that their environment has all these bacteria and microbes and everything.
Dander, pet dander, all that's making it worse.
Right. And so, and also the conversations with them, nothing's their fault. Everything is their spouse, their children, the government, the code enforcement, the neighbors. There's no I or me statements in any of their talking. It's all the blame game every single day and everything. So I don't really touch anything over a 2.5.
So that was a good question that I asked them. Is there anybody who can help those? You literally can't help them because they have deep embedded psychological problems that you are not. That's for a therapist. And when you see that show,
they're all 5s or higher.
They're 5s or higher, and a therapist comes in and helps them, right?
Right. They have a therapist and they have a professional organizer that specializes it. But if you notice, there's usually a cleanup crew that comes.
Yeah.
And the organizer isn't doing any cleaning per se. They're kind of just sitting next to the person, getting them to release the clutter, to say, hey, this cat is missing an eye. Let's get, the animal control in here to give this cat, a better home. You're not able to provide for these 25 cats.
Or find the eyeball.
Well, sometimes they don't even know the cat has passed away because
I've seen that one show where the cat was like dead.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
God.
they don't even, but you would think, well, don't they smell it? No, because there's so much feces and urine and spoiled food and other things like permeating the air
It overpasses death?
That they don't smell the death.
Oh my
and
God.
you just, so anyway, so I watched the show.
I used to love the show because, tell me if this is you.
It would motivate you to clean.
Yeah, dude, I would watch this. I'm like, hell no, I ain't making my house like this. Vacuum.
Well, your house doesn't seem so bad in comparison to their house. I watch it for the tactics to see how they are validating the person to make the person feel good to get them to release. So I'm watching the tactics. I'm watching, how there's a lot of body language. They might be saying no to everything and doing this to all their stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'm watching the body language to when they get to release and give permission. So I'm watching more of like the therapy attached and the homes that they end up having to leave the house, like, because the client kicks out the crew or whatever for throwing away things.
Yes, sometimes, most of the time when I watch this show, the person wasn't willing to change.
Yeah, there's the issue is code enforcement or the adult children or other entities. They don't have any problem with it. They're upset that code enforcement's
the city came down and said you gotta clean your stuff up.
Yeah, or their adult kids won't visit them because the house is this way. They don't have any problem with how it is. They are upset that someone else doesn't like them. Like,
Right.
So because they're not motivated, there won't be any change. Sure, you clear out the house, but you didn't fix anything. So when I get into clients that I clearly see see they're over a 2.5, I usually ask them, do you want this change? Like, why am I here? And they're like, oh, well, my adult children won't let me see my grandchildren because there's nowhere for them to sit because the couch is so full. And I'm like, okay, well, let's clear off the couch. But what's to keep you from refilling up the couch? Like, is this something you want to change, or is this a short-term goal of getting your grandkids over here? Because you only see, last time you saw them was 5 years ago, so they don't want to change because of their health. They don't want to change because of how the house is. They're just doing this little band-aid
because there's an effect,
because they want to see it. I've also been they've tried to hire me because they need to change the windows, but they can't access the windows so that the contractors could come in because there's so many mounds. But they didn't want to deal with any of the mounds. They just wanted me to move the clutter to another room so that the windows could get fixed.
They just want to fix that little section right there.
Right. And so there's no total change or transformation or anything. So, on my end, I have to decide, do I want the money, knowing that there's no, and I still kind of talk with them, but I can feel how they're resisting is the best word. So then I just kind of go, well, let's just get the money. Let's box it up. Let's move it to another room. Let's label it. That way, if they have a change of heart or hire someone else, at least I've helped.
Yeah, well, it's a great number that you chose 2.5, because once you hit 3, then you start dealing with the feces, right?
Right, and then that's really where wearing the hazmat outfit and the N95 mask come into play.
Have you had to do that?
No, because I don't take those projects.
You don't take them. You still take them. Yeah, dude, that's dangerous.
So, and
because that'd be dangerous for you too.
And you could still actually get the plague. Like, it's still a valid.
The plague.
You could still get it from rats and different feces.
I'd be feeling like, can't you get hepatitis? Because if they have hepatitis and they're pooping everywhere or something like that.
It's possible. I mean, but who wants that? Who knowingly says, yes, I'm going to do this, So that's why I'm just like, no. So
antivirus.
So usually I just tell people, I'm really busy and I'll just see if I can fit you in. I definitely encourage you contact another organizer just in case I'm too busy. And then I'm conveniently busy after that.
They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. They're just going to stay like that. I've unfortunately came across some of these people in real life, so I know the psyche of those type of people. They think it's normal.
Yeah, well, they don't have a problem with it.
They don't have a problem with it. They clean out an ice chest, or they say they've cleaned, like, I'll give you an example. This person cleaned out an ice chest, and when I went to look at it, and it was like black spots in every single area of that item. Like, this is clean? They're like, yeah. Like, and they believe in their mind that it's clean. I had to re-clean it, just to make the party go on. But these are the type of psyches you deal with, and then it gets passed on sometimes. Where you mentioned that some of the children don't want to come over, but then you have children that they lived that way so long, they think it's normal.
Well, they have the tendencies to be hoarders because their parents were hoarders. And because it was
Good night, Shawnee. Thank you so much.
Addressed or fixed, they have those same tendencies. And so it's the same kind of conversations of, okay, let's use this item. Let's have it move on. When are you going to use it? Why are we keeping it? Let's glue the item, let's do the thing. And they're like, oh, I might need it just in case, or I just want to hold on to it. So it's very tough in the business end, because I'm getting paid to help them, but there's some people that don't want the help. They just want it to look pretty. They just want me to organize so they can fit more in. And here's the thing that I've run into is I'm not going to cure anyone. I used to think being a home organizer, I would cure people. But, and I've said this before, is I'm the talent. I have the talent of organizing, and not everyone has the talent. So they have to hire me for the talent. But no one's I'm not going to cure anyone of their organizing. Like, as long as I have the talent that they just don't possess, then they'll forever be hiring me, or hiring another organizer, or watching organizing videos, or anything along those lines, because they don't have that talent. And so that's where hoarding comes in, or other things, because they're missing whatever gene or thought process I have.
What a trip. What a trip. What a trip. What a trip. Now let's go on the positive side. If people get to the point where they are organized, do you find that people that are more organized in their home tend to be more organized in their life all around?
Well, I mean, like if their life is decluttered, I mean their home, their life is decluttered too, in the sense of the same coping mechanisms that they have built. That they have to tidy up or clean something, then it really definitely does go into their personal life. Like they'll definitely, clean their kitchen before they meal prep, and they'll be very strict about meal prepping because they know that they have to meal prep to stick with their diet or to stick with bodybuilding or to stick with whatever they're doing. So, I mean, it definitely complements each other, that if they're organized and strict with meal prepping, then they're more likely to succeed.
Wow. So if they're more organized in one area of their life, they're more than likely organized in other areas as well.
Right.
That's awesome. Yeah, you see that through and through. It's interesting. Amazing insights you gave us, Allison. I want to thank you for coming on again. Amazing. It blows my mind. It's super interesting, the stuff that you get to see on a day-to-day basis and experience. So it's freaking awesome. You did an amazing job with the studio. Obviously, I'm happy. My mom's happy. We're going to end the show, but we're not done with you. My mom wants to talk to you for like another 3 hours by herself because she's got some other project going on over there. So you're in trouble, but it's going to be awesome. It's been awesome having the Organization Maven, guys. If you want more information, go onto their Instagram. You saw her Instagram right there, the Organization Maven on Instagram, the Organization Maven on TikTok, the Organization Maven on YouTube. She has her own YouTube channel. She's been on TV. She's got a book. Guys, check her out. It's been amazing. And hopefully you come back on again.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan. Juice Gang Gang, Juice Gang Gang, thank you so much for watching. I know it's a late night over there in the East Coast. Thank you again. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hand claps in the chat. Thank you, Painting Polish. Thank you, my mod. Thank you, J-Rob, for keeping me in shape and keeping the show looking good. Painting Polish and J-Rob, thank you so much. Starfire Nails, everybody for popping in. Hanada, everybody that popped in. Chops for popping in. Thank you so much. Don't forget, hit me up. Subscribe and like on the YouTube as well. There's videos coming out. We've got a lot of content coming out on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube for me, and we will see you soon. Have a great one.